Second take, week 9, solo edition. Unfortunately, we were not able to get anybody to join me this week. It's a busy week in the league. A lot of guys working, a lot of guys have things going on, but we must press on, right? Be probably a shorter episode, not a lot of banter back and forth that keeps it going. But like I said in the group me, I wanted to lead this episode with checking out the recent trades, the really explosive trade deadline that happened this last week. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started there. Boom, right there. Trade deadline recap. Obviously, there's some defensive players here, mostly offensive, but Robbie Anderson of the Cardinals. That one happened before, of course, the deadline, but this is just a recap of total moves. Christian McCaffrey, same 49ers. We've seen that. How about triple touchdown? Impressive, to say the least. James Robinson, one of my players, went to the Jets. Shot him out. Robert Quinn is an Eagle now, 4th-round pick. I can't wait to get into the Bears. I'm going to take at least 2 minutes here to go off on my Bears. Cannot wait. Kadarius Toney, shout out to Champ making that addition. Went to the Chiefs. He's a big play threat, but the injury risk is something definitely to watch. Roquan, you hate to see it. Second and a fifth for Roquan. Art, I don't. I'll get into it later. TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings. So Irv Smith's going to be out. So the Vikings traded into the division and got TJ Hawkinson. Kind of shocking to see the Lions do that, but where they're at and what they have, it's kind of makes sense. They're not going to go anywhere this year. Why not get some draft capital? I like TJ Hawkinson. I think he's a hell of an athlete. Chase Claypool to the Bears. Give our 2nd-round pick for Claypool. I think he's gonna go in right away, be an athlete, be a playmaker for the Bears, probably fantasy relevant. Hopefully we can start seeing QB1's numbers over 159 yards passing. He didn't even hit that 151 last week. So maybe he can hit 200 yards passing in a game. And by QB1, I mean Justin Fields, a.k.a. Big Daddy Dave, starting quarterback for his fantasy team. Bradley Chubb was traded to the Dolphins. This one's kind of shocking. Calvin Ridley to the Jags. Shout out to Ryan Downs, who had him the year he infamously quit, and then he went gambling the next year and has been suspended this year. But he will be back next year, and the Jags went and acquired him. I'm really excited about Nyheim Hines, the Bills. We thought James Cook was going to take on this role for the PPR guy, but he really hasn't grasped it. And it's his first year. He's a rookie. I'm sure the talent's there. I mean, look at his brother, Dalvin. But Nyheim Hines is going to come in, and Zach Moss is gone. So Nyheim Hines is going to see a lot of play. And shout out to Ryan Hannigan, kind of crapping on my addition on my team, Jonathan Taylor, and saying Hines is better. Love that. Love that. But, yeah, I did want to lead the episode with the trade deadline recap. As you see here in the image, kind of nuts. But before I get into the league, I guess let's take this time to approach the Bears. As many of us are in this league out of Chicago, big Bears fans, been Bears fans our whole lives. Never really seen anything like this where you go out and trade for a Claypool. Poles is, in Poles we trust. It's his first year. It cut him some slack. I was a little harsh on the group me. But to lose a guy like Roquan Smith, a leader, 25 years old, leading the league in tackles, it's outrageous. Now, I know before the season started, they couldn't come together. I think it was $18 million a year was the number. And maybe Roquan's looking for 20. And I guess in this day and age, a middle linebacker isn't worth that, which is kind of shocking to me, seeing as that's the leader of the defense. I mean, I understand defensive ends and pass rushers get paid, but I don't know. That Roquan is a weak side linebacker is the knock against him, right? And I guess getting blown out by 20 is a bad look as a leader of a defense, but I was shocked to see it. And it's unfortunate because that's a player who, I mean, many of us have the jersey, many of us ride with. I mean, I went to training camp this year, witnessed Roquan merchandise everywhere, Roquan on all the trucks, on all the advertisements. Saw him, he was out there with the guys. Wasn't in full uniform, but he was out there in shorts coaching and assisting his team, and he bet on himself. And I think at the end of the day, Baltimore's getting a stud. And they're going to have to pay him, and they have to pay a lot of people. They have to pay Lamar. I don't know where else cap space is going to come from, but I'm sure they'll figure it out over there. But at the end of the day, he's going to be, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. And you guys call me crazy or whatever, Georgia Bulldog. I think he will be a Hall of Famer. And to lose talent like that on a team that's looking for talent, looking for direction at 25 years old, he's got another 10 years in the league, barring injury, maybe 9, whatever. It's insane to me. If we're moving all these players, why did we move Eddie Jackson? Why did we move David Montgomery? If we're getting rid of these old pace pieces that were supposed to be, contenders, Why aren't we moving all these guys? Maybe there's not a market for him. Maybe, I mean, I would have took a sixth for David, a fifth for David, whatever. I think that's what he was. I think he was a third round pick. And I know running back appreciation's there. Herbert's clearly the guy outperforming him. I just, it's unfortunate for the Bears. I'm going to ride because that's in my blood and I'm not going to quit on them. I was ready to say no and just jump ship, but we'll stick with it. I'm going to tune in on Sundays. And I mean, let's be real. As a Bears fan, what are we looking for? QB1 just to do well. QB1 to show progress. QB1 to be competitive. And he's doing that. So I can't knock him. Can't knock him. He's leading. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, there's guys joking about it. It's like, will he re-sign with us? And it's like, you would hope so. But can you question him if he chose not to? If there's a better option? I don't know. It's sad. It's truly sad. But back to second take, where we're here. We're talking about the league. Nate has won 6 straight. Now, I know many of you know Jesse got to 8, right? And was trying to tie Nate's record of 9. I think this was last year or the year before. I get them mixed up, but did not achieve it. Nate is still single-handedly the only person to win 9 in a row. Kudos to you, Nate. Spoiler alert, he plays me this week. I can't see that working out too well for you. Dave is 5-3, losing a couple tough ones in a row. He's the highest scorer in the league. Kind of shocking at 5-3. Piani, speaking of Dave, Piani beat him, dropped 185, finally gets a win. Now 1-7. What does that mean? Is there potential? Can he go? I think he has to win out. There is a lot of guys that are, mediocre, lower. I think Joe is 2-6. So 3-5 teams. It's feasible. Piani's not a quitter. We know that. Never has been, never will be. So I can't wait to see what can conspire out of his team. 185 is a lot of points. I mean, that's scary. And then Jesse got lucky last week. Texted me, super hyped. Joe Burrow to only put up 12. I mean, what? We'll get into it. But let's go to these power rankings. Here we are. Move me down a little bit. Dave falling to 4 is the first thing that pops out to me. Dave's put up points. Dave has been great this year. To put him at 4 is kind of an insult, but you can't play defense, right, Dave? You can't play defense. So you're at 4. Matt squeaking out a win on his bye 2 weeks ago and then getting a win last week again, 6-1. Shout out to you. 7-1 now, right? We're week 9. 7-1, excuse me. I am 6-2 at 2. We are the division leaders at the moment. Nate is on our tail, as is Dave. I think Nate's in the other division with Matt, so don't quote me on that. The champ at 5. Big Mike quietly staying in it, staying above. I'm sure he's loving the chance at a first-round bye in week 13. Not having playing week 14, excuse me. That dreaded wild card week. Nobody was playing week 14. 6 of us won't. Hoping my name stays up there too. You never know. We had some scary injuries, especially with my team. Almost lost Cooper Kupp. Goodness. But Ryan Downs at 6. Ryan Downs, some tough L's as well. He's kind of got the Dave stuff going on where it's like you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Danny, I've been calling him a dark horse the whole year. Super stoked about what he could bring in his team. He's just not very deep, but you don't have to be in fantasy if you guys stay healthy, right? Jesse at 8. Jesse, what can we say? You made some moves. Your team is coming together. It's getting healthy. Big win last week, much needed. You think you need another one this week? I'm curious what your rest of schedule is. We'll check it out. Xavier at 9. Xavier, tough L's too. I like Xavier's team. I loved his draft. I thought he did great. I didn't expect him to be here in week 9. Did not expect it. Tony, the Rook, shout him out. Week 9 at 10, ahead of schedule. Patty Mahomes. I know you were talking about you got some offers last week for Patty Mahomes. I think he's going to stay put. But I did hear Danny Dimes is available. Just want to reiterate that for everybody out there. Danny Dimes is available. It is tough at quarterback this year. The bottom 4. Mikey, tough fellow to me. But the team is not. You bench Pitts, which was shocking. We'll get into it. I was just shocked it. Like Pitts is fine as a name, but we're gonna bench him and run 2 other tight ends. Shocking. I think there has been a couple, starter decisions that have affected you this year. I'm sure you'll be the first to admit it, but your team is still competitive. And like I said, I mean, this bottom 4, there's really nobody out of it. It's kind of scary. It's week 9. We're going to go to week 13. We're almost over here. Ryan Hannigan, your team is relevant. I'm not counting you out. Same goes for Piani. And then Joe, I put him in 14th place. Joe has been losing in a major lose streak. Piani put up 185 last week. I'm not going to disrespect him. I know he has one win, but I'm going to put him at 13. I think out of all these guys, it's kind of crazy. I think Piani has a good shot at scoring the most points to end the season. Does that necessarily result in him getting out? No, not at all. But there's your power rankings for week 9. It is later in the season, and it is getting sketchy. You definitely want to be in that top 6. I'll say it again. Below the red, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. Waiver Wired, week 9, $96 spent. This is kind of crazy. 94 last week, 96 this week. When will it drop off? I think we had 1 week where it was 52, but it's been a spender's market here. Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver out of Green Bay, $22. And the Kansas City defense, $1 today. Love it. Love the ads. I'm curious to see what Dobbs was going for. Now, I know Lazard's been a little hurt, but Lazard's been good. You would assume Dobbs is going to come on later than, I don't know. But Dave went out and got him. This one was shocking. Deion Jackson, running back, Indianapolis, $21. And Isaiah Likely, tight end, Baltimore, $12 to Ryan Hannigan. First thing, Isaiah Likely, I guess, was dropped. Originally picked up by Mikey. With the news on my tight end, Mark Andrews, it's possible that this is a great addition for $12, and I don't hate it. Deion Jackson, I understand. Hines is gone, but they brought Zach Moss in. Deion Jackson balled out that game. How much work will he get? $21. I'm curious to see what was spent. It's shocking. It is a little shocking. That's a high number, but you got to spend it, and maybe Deion Jackson will be on the team for the rest of the year, and that would justify 20% of your fab, 21%. Devin Duvernay, wide receiver, Baltimore, Piani, $15. Duvernay's been on a couple teams. Devin Duvernay reminds me of somebody who can be a playmaker, but doesn't necessarily have the ability. I mean, let's be real. Lamar has not been fantastic as of late. It's been kind of sketchy. Devin Duvernay, I think, is probably their best receiver out of obviously Mark Andrews, but he's a threat. He's a deep threat. I don't mind it. Piani probably needs to start somebody this week. This one I'm really stoked for. Jeff Wilson, shout me out for dropping him. Running back Miami got traded, $11. Going to compete with Raheem Mostert. That's a steal. Tony may get lucky again. He thought he got lucky with Rashad Penny. Injury is unfortunate, but this could be somebody to bolster his team. I think he's getting deeper. Minnesota Vikings defense, $8, Jesse. You need to start a defense this week. Went out and got it. Defenses are been kind of expensive to go get too. It's a bidding war out here for defenses. Streaming, it matters. Robert Tonyan, tight end, Green Bay, $6 to Danny. No Kittle this week. That makes sense. Nick Folk, kicker, New England, $0 to Joe. Need a kicker? Need a kicker. I understand. The New England offense is not prolific by no means. And is it Zappy? I'm curious what Joe stands on. Is it Zappy or Mac Jones? But that'll wrap it up for the waiver wired segment. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody here with me to test their knowledge. But you know I was ready for these players. I would even show you a preview, but I don't want to spoil it. Who he played for segment. But unfortunately, I'm not going to go ahead and compete this week. We'll bring that for next week. Kind of save me some time. Let's go ahead and get into last week's results. Start with my matchup. This was closer than it looked. 2 girls, 1 cup. First Pitts is fine. Mikey's team. He left Pitts on the bench, 80 and a tutty, and he started. Oh, he only started 1 tight end. Excuse me. I tried to go in on you, and that was not true. Justin Jefferson, Mikey, we're not happy, right? I got him in the ESPN league. I'm doing poor in the ESPN league, by the way. I think I'm like 2-6. It's terrible. Ramondre has been a godsend for you. Wandale did not show up. But how about on my side? My guy, A.J. Brown, 3 tutties. How was that, a bar? Shout out to Mikey again on the bar. He hooked it up. We had the other league showed up there. We all got together. It was fun. But A.J. Brown was just such a delight. Was not playing against him in the ESPN league, and I knew I had him in the NFL. I was super excited. 39.6. Love it. Cooper Kupp almost went down with a major ankle injury in garbage time. McVay plays like that's not normal. McVay always has him out there in garbage time. I'm the owner. I've seen it. My running back situation is scary. Didn't really have much of an option. Could have started Gainwell or Huntley, but I chose to roll with Robinson. Just maybe he gets a goal line carry. That was my mindset. Mark Andrews. I mean, I look at all these Q's, boys. We're in trouble. We're in trouble on my side. But, this matchup was fun. Special teams was kind of a stinker for both of us. I think that's where you really make the difference. But Piani, holy cow. Dave can't catch a break. 185. Look at that team. Fournette. I mean, Alvin Kamara was a big reason for this, obviously. But Fournette showed up. Waddle showed up. And then Tony Pollard is the guy. Tony Pollard, what a game. And then had he benched Woods for like Rondell Moore, I mean, this is a 200-point performance. It's impressive. Piani said it the whole year. He said, I have guys. The Auden pickup didn't really work out. I get why he made the ad. Ayuk, great game for Ayuk. Jerry Jeudy on the bench. A little shocked to see that. Wouldn't have made a difference, though, right, Dave? Wouldn't have made a difference. Danny getting a big win here. The Gus Bus. Jacobs, a mediocre game. He started Zach Moss. It was Danny's bye week a little. Not really. He didn't have Herbert, but you can say the same for Tony. He didn't have Mahomes. And no Elliott. You hate to see it. Tough loss for Tony there, but shout out to Danny getting it. Joe came to play here against Matt 7-1, but it wasn't good enough. Travis Homer still getting those starts. I would have started Dontrell Hilliard, personally. But I guess, Hilliard wasn't great last week either. I just don't care, right? Matt's like, it's fine. I won. What does it matter? Pickens with 0 points, that's not normal. McPherson, -1. Man, shout out to Eddie Pinheiro, missing all those kicks. Couldn't believe that. This was tough. Wow. Close win. Logan Thomas plays. He probably puts up some points. Probably not that close, but the Joe Burrow 12.48 was shocking to see. I guess no chase really does matter. Downs, no chase. That double dip is lethal. It's got to be one of the best double dips in the league. Dak Prescott, he balled out against the Bears, yeah. And Christian McCaffrey, I shouted him out earlier. Love it. Mike, the champ getting a big win here. Devontae Adams, that was weird, huh? Just get blown out. What's going on there in Vegas? McDaniel's got to get fired, right? I guess they paid him, let him ride it out. Cook's supposed to get traded. He didn't get traded. Kind of shocked to see that. T. Higgins, that looks right. Miles Sanders looks good. 13. I think he's like running back 18 on the year. I know. I look at that stuff. Big win, though. Big win. And then look at this. Scrapes by. Oh, my goodness. Xavier. Oh. Kobe Myers can't get a start. He's gone off 2 weeks in a row. Can't get a start. Wow, Derek Carr, though. That's not normal. Yeah, like I said, this game wouldn't have been that close. This game would not have been that close. Woo! That's going to be the closest you're going to see this year. For sure, boys. That's the closest you're going to see this year. No doubt in my mind. All right, let's go ahead and move forward to the predictions. My predictions this week. We'll start on Piani's matchup against Danny. Piani's favored heavily. Tunyon's getting the start. I'm going to take Piani here. Danny probably doesn't want to hear that, but it is what it is. Look at these. Robert Woods is going to keep getting these starts, huh? Maybe Duvernay sneaks in there. How do you trust Robert Woods at Kansas City? I guess the game it's not going to be a shootout, but maybe they're behind. They need to throw. Will Jacobs bounce back at Jacksonville? I could see that being a big game. Danny's like not favored, but I wouldn't say 0%. Taking Piani though. Tony versus Joe. Tony favored. Cordell Patterson said he's 90%. Saw that on Twitter. And he said that I don't really care about fantasy. I care about my health, which is like, you got to remember, he's making $5 million. That's it. But Jeff Wilson's ready if need be. I'm taking Tony, though. Joe, 2-7. It's not your year. It's not your year, buddy. Matt is playing Ryan Downs. Shout out to Matt. He was just recently in Chicago. I meant to make it, buddy. Unfortunately, we had some family stuff come up, and I couldn't get away. But shout you out on coming home. You're favored here. Or you're not favored here, though. And I kind of agree with this. Ryan Downs, let's get this dub, huh? Palmer's coming back off injury. I agree with the start. Obviously, Chase is healthy. We're putting him in there, but I'm excited. I think it's a big win for you. You need this win. Let's knock down. Let's knock Matt down a notch here, huh? Maybe I can vault him for first place. Give this guy a couple L's. Jesse playing Ryan Hannigan. Jesse taking on both the Ryans, huh? Got a close win over the last one. Will he do it again? Deion Jackson getting the start. Wow. James Conner, is he going to come back? Probably start Kenyon Drake. He's got options at running back here. He's got options. I don't know if I'm necessarily rolling with Deion Jackson there, but I guess we're waiting on the news for my running back, right? The one that was traded to me, Jonathan Taylor. I love him on St. Brown this week. Green Bay DBs are good, but I love it. Pittman, I was talking to Jesse. He's saying Pittman may not get the start. He's not a little confident in New England. Rookie quarterback. He's not excited about it. But Foreman, you got to be excited. That's a running back one if he's going to get that volume. RB1. I'm going to take Jesse here. I'm going to take Jesse. The champ is playing Xavier. Xavier, can you get a break here? I think you will. I'm going to take you, and here's why. Look at the left side here. Look at these running backs. Michael Carter. I imagine he's going to get a little less workload, and my guy Robinson's going to get more work, but that 12 is probably accurate. A.J. Dillon has not been the guy this year. People were talking about, I think Aaron Jones was a steal this year at what A.J. Dillon has not been able to do. And Tony's getting the start. It is Mike's bye week. Newly acquired Najee Harris. Yeah, I'm gonna take Xavier. Champ's he's gonna go to 5-4. Will it happen again, Dave? Can you lose 3 in a row? Favored Davis, Chuba Hubbard getting 10. I don't know about that. Sutton on a bye. Nick Chubb on a bye. QB1 has been starting, and I love that. I'm gonna go with you, Dave. I'm gonna take QB1 here. I do think, Mikey, we got to see Jefferson have a game at some point. And on Washington on the road, I mean, it's possible. And him and Ramondre, I mean, is that enough to battle Eckler, Kelsey versus Pitts? Oh, Pitts was supposed to be the guy this year, Mike. I'm sorry. And then last but not least, we got to feature me and Nate. Game of the week, 6-2. He's won 6. I've won 3 straight. It's way more impressive on his side, but there's some cues here. I was ready to knock this one out and not call it game of the week because of the possibility of these questions about my team. Because if I put these other guys in on the bench, as we can look, Cole Kmet, who did score last week, probably Huntley, and then Moore. There was a point where Elijah Moore was like, quit on the team, and they had to bench him. It was kind of insane. He was close to being dropped. I ultimately went with Jeff Wilson because of the Christian McCaffrey success, and I realized that my guy's going to come back up at some point, Eli Mitchell, and he would be the number 2. So that was my mindset for the drop. But Nate's team looks good, really good. But if my guys play, I'm 100% taking them. I'm taking me no matter what, Nate. But I really like my side long term. Tyler Conklin. They calling him Tyler Gonklin. Will he do it against Buffalo at home? I don't think. I don't see it. Taking myself. Have it no other way. Well, quick episode. Appreciate you guys hearing me out here on my tangent about the Bears to start it. Repping the Bulls, big win last week, but like I had a work function today where I had to wear a jersey. It was a team spirit day. Wear your favorite sports team, and I didn't want to put on QB1. I didn't want to support the Bears today, but I did. I got other jerseys. Thought about wearing shout Mike. Thought about wearing Heung-Min's son. I thought about shouting him out with the Spurs. But I said, you know what? I know where my heart lies. I know I'm a Bears fan. And polls we trust. I'm gonna wait and see. Let's see the draft. I wanted to poo-poo it on it already and say, look at all these busts, but like this guy knocked it out this year. Brisker has been great. Kyler has been very good for a rookie. He took a 5th round tackle and with Larry, right? Am I mistaken here? He took a 5th round tackle and he's starting for us and he's good. So to deny this guy, I mean, and Velus Jones is not nothing. I think he plays hard and he had some explosive plays. We need to get him involved a little bit more. But we're bringing in Claypool. QB1's going to get some more talent at receiver. Maybe this helps Mooney out so he's not doubled and whatever pushed around. And he can go back to maybe his more natural position as a 2, maybe as a flex play or a Z, not a Y. Shout out to receivers out there, but week 9 should be a fun week. There are 6 teams on bye, 6 NFL teams on bye, which is kind of shocking to me. So if you're going to do anything this Sunday, this is probably the Sunday to do it. But enjoy it, everybody. We have only a few more weeks left here to be competitive until it really matters and it's really on the line. It would mean more than anything for me to take a championship home this year. I would love it the most. I do have more jackets if we have to crown somebody new, though. So we are prepared. But that'll wrap it up here for week 9. Best luck to all the GMs, even you, Nate. 7 in a row. Can we beat it? If you beat me, I think you got a good shot. I think you can hit the 10. I think you can get to 10. No doubt in my mind. But that's all right. Have a good one, guys.